The world goes wrong when men of wealth and/or influence begin to act on their ideas. Don't we all act on ideas? Yes, we do. And don't we all conflict and fight with each other? There may be relationship between acting on ideas and coming to conflict, and the ultimate grand flowering of all conflicts, the barbaric act of war. Let's investigate. From where exactly does an idea arise, which we come to act upon in life? And are ideas the accurate foundation for our life directions and activities? Ideas arise, of course, from our thinking, from the same psychological inward space from which arises every fear, worry, every depression, and every anxiety. Have you not noticed in your life, in your day-to-day habitual thinking, that your thoughts carry a dark side? Is it not strange that our lives are born direction from the inner movement of this conflicted thinking? We seem to think our lives are something like this. I am a thinker, which is a permanent entity, represented by my given birth name, and I think thoughts, which are fleeting in nature. We take this area of our lives for granted. We never question this area. We never look into nor come into a first-hand authentic vision of how our brains are functioning. If we did, we would be astonished to see the truth. Now, I can describe this truth for you here, for the inner questioning of this inner area of human psychological self, the ego, has been somewhat of a lifelong pursuit for this man. But what use is it to your life to live on the description of another? None at all. To truly have the potential for any impact to our lives, we simply must awaken our own vision. By all means, listen to words, but test the water. Never accept a single thing told unless you have witnessed and verified the same as a truth in your life. A remarkable thing may come to the life of a person who sees truth, for truth changes life. Truth does so because seeing truth out of necessity breaks any illusions educated into you or acquired during your journey through this life. Truth is remarkable, and to a mind which has not deeply questioned, unbelievable. Truth is the same for us all, and so truth, which we meet, is the ground where humanity finds the only potential available to come to live a life lived in love and peace. There can be no my truth and your truth, for truth is what is, and what is always the truth. Ideas have no place leading our lives. This is the monumental mistake of the men of Davos. Look at the contribution previously to humanity people such as Lenin, Stalin, Mussolini, or Hitler have brought to this sorrow-filled world, acting on their ideas. Look at the World Economic Forum and British royalty today. Whenever we act on ideas, we are acting on a limitation. Thought is limited to the knowledge we carry, which itself is limited to our past living experiences. And so, when we act on ideas, two highly damaging effects are immediately taking place. First of all, I am in a state of modified repetition of what came before. It is quite impossible to have a new idea, for ideas are born from the action of human thinking. And human thinking is a movement in human knowledge, and knowledge is the past. We can call what is taking place in our world today a great reset, but this is no new reset. This limited activity, born from the minds of a few men, is nothing other than modified repetition of their past experiences. It can be nothing else, for this is all memory contains, and thought is born from memory. So, no reset, nothing new. In truth, a divided repetition, a modified repetition of the unfair, deeply divisive and conflicted world we all know only too well. We can surely do better than this. Another issue with regards to implementing a planned ideology is this. Ideas act in the shadow of the biggest ignorance possible. Ideas, born of thought, born of knowledge, a continuity of that which came previously in modified form, are impossible in their nature to contain any information regarding what has not been previously experienced, which is a vast field, so much larger than the very limited unquestioned knowledge we carry and from which our ideas arise. Acting on ideas, therefore, is to act in almost complete ignorance. And acting in almost complete ignorance is to act very blindly. This is a major reason why our world has never known any peace. It is the reason 1,000 atomic bombs point at your head this very moment. It is the reason for the World Economic Forum. We act on thought, and thought can never be complete. And so we act in limitation and in conflicted self-interest against the lives of others, whom we now seek to either control or to dominate. This is all checkable if you can find eyes to see. Our torment in life, our inability to live together, our world of abject poverty and immeasurable wealth, our hypocrisy, and our every attempt to put our lives back on track again are all movements related to our past. And so we are forever caught in a never-ending loop of greater and greater degeneration. We degenerate because all in this universe, given any continuity, grows old, wears out, and dies. We have one chance, but it is a hell of a long shot. We must stop acting on ideas. We must deny our beloved progress and our treasured sense of becoming anything other than we meet this moment. We must come to find a contentment, a fullness to life, here and now. We must stop acting on all ideas, leading us into the action of ignorance, and we must come to understand completely what we are. We are words and we are images. In truth, there is no thinker other than this. We are words and images. We are life and death itself. We are born of this universe and can never be divorced from it, though we live in knowledge which has divorced us from it. We are a lost race of people, lost to our true nature. We live as an identity, words, images, beliefs, prejudices and bias, fears, worries, hurts, desires, pleasures. We are all of this. Can we change? Truly change? No more playing silly games of 10-year juvenile plans and hidden motivations. No more acting always so selfishly for my own little corner. But can we change so that our lives and our actions may come to reflect the beauty, the love, and the bounty of this wondrous infinite universe we were simultaneously born from and into? I don't see any more important question in life than this. You are nothing like you think you are. The Father and the Son are one. Only the Son sleeps, and in his slumber has allowed himself to be hypnotized, to believe himself to be other than he truly is. Life is death, and you never existed beyond an image. You are the summation of all images. Can these inward psychological images end? And if they can, what happens to your life? It changes, obviously. A true change. A thought-out, projected, 10-year plan is no change at all. How can a change exist if I plan to move towards it? If I plan to move towards change, I must know the change I am seeking, and knowledge belongs to the past, and therefore a planned change is nothing other than a great nonsense. This is the eternal future of mankind we are discussing, nothing less. Shall we continue into eternity, grieving our lost children's short-suffering lives? Or shall we change at last our course, put down all this divisive, life-destroying progress, and meet each other for the first time, where and when we find our lives to be? Completion in life will not come to you from following any ideas, not your own and certainly not in others. Completion in life will come when you are free from inward images and words, destroying a crystal clear perception of this living, loving universe and your natural born place within it. If we can meet such a thing, it will stop dead in its tracks our pointless, childish measurements of each other's lives. I care not that a man has a dozen palaces to choose from between where he desires to lay his head. My wealth is a different kind of wealth to this, but I care immensely that in the same world, in this very same world, with the very same children of this universe, a child dies every 5 seconds from starvation. In a universe of replenishing bounty, awaken, my people. You are my people, for you are humanity as I am, as we all are, flesh and blood, mortal and immortal. We are immortal because we are life, and life never ends. Immortality has nothing to do with living forever, as these tragically limited, poorly named elitists today are so interested in. This is a transparent testimony to how blind we all are to life, that anyone would seek to live forever in the manifestation of a conflicting inner collection of words and images, memories from the past. No one will ever find a sense of completion living the way we do, for thought is always limited. No one can experience everything, and our experiences, stored as knowledge, are the driving energy behind every thought, fear, pleasure, and psychological pain we meet. If we want to change this world, come to a true revolution, it would seem possible, although arduous. Interested parties need find great inner resolve. One needs to place the urgency of our vision of a need for self-transformation high on our list of daily priorities, and watch choicelessly and without cessation the inner movements of images, words, and emotions. Choicelessly, for this is a process of revelation, not a journey in time to better yourself, which is complete illusion. There is only one time, now, and if you seek to better what you are doing nothing other than wasting your energies. Abominations need to end, not continue in time in an illusory sense of betterment. How can you better the broken, divided, corrupted, totally selfish present society and mind of mankind? This cannot be built back better, and neither can the corruptly led society this selfish mind has built. It must be ended, not made better. Better corruption is still corruption. Perhaps a long shot, but perhaps if a few of us can do such a thing, if such a thing is even possible, we may come to a critical point where the consciousness of humanity fuses into a new understanding of life through the action of some of us coming to the understanding of our lives. As divided by knowledge this day as human consciousness has become, it remains one movement. We are the collective past memories of our race, released from inner divisive imagery, released from inner self-interest. We find the completion we are hopelessly searching for in our meaningless progress, forever seeking completion, caught in a limiting pattern of becoming in time, which must deny any true sense of completion only available to a mind which has stopped all travelling. A mind which has lost interest in self-centred becoming in its life is a mind free to look at this universe unburdened by sense of past or future, unburdened by self, and so able to see clearly and act appropriately towards what is being seen. A self-interested mind is caged within its own self-projected illusions. Becoming is a never-ending journey, always seeking more. Being, the refusal of living an incomplete life of no substance, is awake to this moment, and so lives in absolute completion, here and now, in an explosion of delight of living in this loving moment of creation, free from an inner enslavement to psychological time. A remarkable thing has happened when and if this inner self ends. Time ends. For all time is thought. We find ourselves in the same world, in the same movement, and in the same consciousness. All divisive factors between us have now ended, for all are found in this inner human divisive memory-based consciousness, with nothing any more to better or progress towards, and so nothing which divides us, with no sense of self, and so no divisive, competitive, uncaring self-interest, which is selfishness. This is where we find life completion. Going nowhere, being nothing, living and dying in a timeless, wondrous universe of love and ecstasy. Our cups shall truly run over. Is it possible? I implore you to find out. Let's not build back better. Let's end all building and find our relationship in living together as one. As one is where we find an inability to conflict and war. As one is what we are.